Transformation Podcast. I'm your host, Simona Spark, and our mission is to build a future where no one needs to come out anymore. Together, we can create a world where everyone has the right to love, to succeed, to have a family, and to live a full, happy life.
Hello, everyone. Today, I'm excited to have as a guest on our podcast, Miss Kristi. Welcome, Kristi.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. It's my pleasure. And thank you for being here to share with us about your experience of coming out. And then we will talk about your experience of being a gay mother. And we will close with learning more about the amazing work that you do in the world in inspiring, educating, and supporting LGBTQ community. So let's get to it.
Okay, let's do it.
How far back do we need to go to find the moment when you came out?
I came out when I was 30. I was a single mom. I had not been with a man since I was 23, once I got pregnant. And until I was 23, I dated men trying to figure out what was wrong with me that I couldn't fall in love with a man. And I just couldn't figure it out. All three of my sisters were married. My two brothers were married. They were all happy. And I'm like, yeah, I just don't like dating guys, and I never dated one guy more than 6 months. And I was like, I'm done. I don't want any more of this. And then I got pregnant. I kept my daughter, and I was 30. I got a roommate who was a lesbian. And she said, let's go out to the bar. And so we went to a gay bar, and I saw two women slow dancing together, and then they kissed, and like a light bulb went off in my head. Oh my God, that's it. That's what's wrong with me. I'm gay. And I didn't even, it was the funniest thing because I was like, and I know saying what's wrong with me is not the right words now, but at that time, that's what I felt inside of me.
Right.
Oh, now I understand why I could never fall in love with a man. It's because I'm supposed to be kissing women, not men. And for me, though, it was an exciting, I was so excited. As a matter of fact, I went and told my sister that I was gay. I told all my friends at work that I was gay. And they're like, well, how do you know? Have you even kissed a woman? And I'm like, no, I don't need to. I know this is me. I've been looking for me for so many years, and I finally found it. And I called a friend of mine who lived in South Carolina, and we had gone to college together. And I said to my friend, so are you dating anybody? And she said, yes. And I said, is it a man or a woman? And she's like, well, as a matter of fact, it's a woman. I'm like, I knew it. I knew you were gay too. I'm gay.
It's like celebration.
Right, it was. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh, I just figured it out. She started laughing, and we had a big laugh about it. And then, I don't know, maybe 6 months later after I, was exploring, and unfortunately it's hard to find gay people unless you go to bars, right, was my thinking in Florida at the time. And so I was going to different bars, which I had never gone to bars. I didn't like bars. It wasn't my scene. And so it was difficult for me to meet people. My roommate moved out, and so I advertised for another roommate and did it in a lesbian and gay magazine. And I had this woman come over and interview. And she's like, well, I don't want to live with you, but I do want you to meet my ex-girlfriend because I think you guys would get along great. And they were best friends. And she's like, I think you two would get along just great. So I met this woman and we started kind of getting to know each other. And then that first kiss, oh my gosh, I remember it so vividly. We were sitting on the couch, getting to know each other. And then she looked at me and said, what would you do if I kissed you right now? And I'm like, I don't know. She goes, well, figure it out because I'm about to.
And this is you being 30 years old.
Right.
This is your first kiss.
It's my first kiss.
In a new identity.
Oh, it was so amazing too. It was so healing, and the sensation of knowing without a doubt that this is what I had always been looking for.
Wow.
Right?
What a powerful moment for you.
Yes, it was powerful. Now, I have to tell you a funny story. I told my sister, and then I told one of my brothers. And my brother said to me, well, Kristi, of course you're gay. And I'm like, what do you mean, of course I'm gay? And he goes, well, I have 4 sisters. 3 of them had Boy George and Def Leppard and Scott Baio posters hanging up in their bedroom when we were growing up. He said, you had Kristi McNichol and Kate Jackson. Of course you were gay.
We heard that before from another guest, like how she realized that she has just all these women on the wall, and then she will put other men just to break up the obvious.
Right. I didn't even know it, though. It took me until I was 30 to figure out. But boy, once I figured it out, and it was, for me, my family was very accepting, my brothers and sisters. I was nervous about my dad and my stepmom, and my sister told them, not telling me that she told them. And then my stepmom called me, and it was around Christmas, and said, so is your girlfriend going to come with you to the Christmas dinner? Because we're going to do a gift exchange, and I want to put her name in it. And so they were just so loving and
what
accepting.
a beautiful way of accepting who you are.
Right. And it was just so, I'm like, oh my God, so it's okay with you? And she goes, Chris, honey, all your dad and I have ever wanted for you is for you to be happy. And if Carol makes you happy, then you get to be happy. It was just so wonderful.
Wonderful. So this is your stepmom. What about your mom?
My mom, however, was, it's just a phase you're going through. And it's okay. It's just a phase you're going through. And I was out 20 years before she passed away, and she still said she thought it was a phase I was going through.
20 years phase.
Yeah. But she was loving. I mean, she accepted all of my girlfriends, got to come over to the house and hang out, and there was never any animosity. She just thought, kept saying that in her own mind for whatever reason.
Right. Now, when you came out, you were already a mother. So how was that experience of bringing home a girlfriend and coming out to your own daughter?
Okay, so my daughter was 7. And before I brought home a girlfriend, I had the lesbian roommate, right? She was living with my daughter and I. And so I talked to my daughter, and this woman's friend was going to come from North Carolina. Her girlfriend was going to come down. So she asked me, well, how do you want me to behave in your house? Which was super sweet around Lacey and stuff. And I said, you know what? I said, you guys, I don't want you like having sex on the couch or anything, but holding hands and kissing and all that is right. I said, that is all. I want Lacey to be a part of all of that. I want her to know and understand that this is how it can be. Right. And this is before I had figured out I was gay.
Right.
And so I sat my daughter down and I said, okay, so Maria's friend Jolanda's coming over and they're girlfriends. I said, do you know how Uncle Scott loves Aunt Debbie? Do you know how Uncle Corey loves Aunt Wendy? I said, it's that kind of a love. And so they may be holding hands and kissing. And she looked at me and she goes, well, Mom, as long as they love each other, it's okay. And that was it, right?
So sweet.
Yes, just such a sweet kid. And then, so 2 years later, we're driving in the car and my daughter's like, Mom, when are you going to find a boyfriend? I want you to be happy. And I said, well, honey, what if I told you that I don't want to find a boyfriend, that I want to find a girlfriend like Maria and Jolanda? And she grabbed her little chin and looked out the window and just had this thoughtful face looking. And she goes, well, Mom, as long as they love us and make us laugh, it doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl.
And she is like, what, 9 at that point?
9. She was 9 years old.
I love it.
So beautiful, so powerful to be a child at such a young
age and have her mind fully open, her heart fully open, and just accepting and have room for all kind of type of loves.
Right. It was so powerful.
Way to go, Mom. Way to go, Mom.
Thank you. And that was it, right? Just raising a child to be open to everybody, all races, all religions. And that's how I'd always treated her. So, but that was tons of fun. And then I met my first girlfriend that I moved in with, and we raised Lacey together. And we were together for 8.5 years. So from the time Lacey was 9 until Lacey was like almost 15. And we were team moms for the softball team. We went to all of the events at school together as a couple.
Fun. So how was that for Lacey and her friends to have two moms showing up at the soccer game?
At one point, Lacey, kids started to find out, and she was in 5th grade. They were walking around running the track, and one of the kids goes, "Ew, she even smells gay." And yeah, right. And so they started kind of teasing her, and that's about that age, right? So they were teasing Lacey, and it started to be really hard. And I had one of the counselors at school called me and said, "Hey, we think you should go ahead and come in and let's talk about this and figure this out." And so they had this wonderful program at the school that was 8 weeks long, and we went one night a week for 8 weeks. And we had a family meal together, and we went through, the parents had training and the kids had training, and Carol, my partner, and I were there together with Lacey. And so all of those families, and there were like 30 families in this group, all got to know us as a couple and love us and accept us. And all the kids got to love and accept Lacey, and she got to talk in her group about having gay moms. And after that, once we got all that out in the open, the teasing still happened, but it didn't affect Lacey because she's like, "You don't know what you're talking about," right? And so she had tools to get through and be able to protect herself from that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, so inspiring, because, even though we are living such amazing times and, we have gay marriage legalized and we have all these tools and we have role models like in movies, right? It's like, it's totally different time than 2 decades ago, right? But still there is parents that don't know, they simply don't know how to guide their children.
Right.
Because they didn't grow up with those role models. So I see it in my work all the time. People my age that is like, I don't know what to do with that. Right.
Well, and that's a lot of the questions, right? And there's just so much that goes with it. And just being able to say it out loud and giving Lacey the skills to say, "Yeah, my mom's gay and that's okay." And that's what she would started to say is like, "So what? Who cares?" And then after that, she outed me to everybody. I mean, everyone knew I was gay, whether I wanted them to know or not. She told everyone I was gay. And I'm like, you don't say hello and then say my mom's gay. That's not what has to happen.
This is my mom and she's gay.
Yeah.
I love it.
So she ended up being, a very well-adjusted kid and went through all of middle school with gay moms and started high school with gay moms. And we were super active at the school. And years later, we met her 5th grade teacher. And that teacher was like, "You know what? What I knew was anytime I was having an event in my classroom that Lacey was going to have 2 parents there." And I did not know that about any of the other kids. One parent would come or the other parent would come, but always with you two, you both came to all of the school events. And that was so wonderful.
And that was all it mattered. Do I grow up with my parents being there for me?
Exactly.
Because that's what I remember. If they've been there for me, if they've been involved, if they keep me safe and loved, they were there for me no matter what.
Yes.
So beautiful. So now we get to... Before we move into the amazing work that you do in the world, I just want to ask if is there a piece, advice, wisdom that you want to give to parents. They might find themselves in a place that concerned about how to come out to their own children.
For parents, I think personally the most important thing that we can do raising kids is to be honest with kids. Because if we don't, and honest at an early age, Because if we don't, then when they turn 13 and 14 and they found out that we've been lying to them, then they're like, how can I trust you? How can I trust you to take care of me? Because you've lied to me all these years about anything, whatever it is. And so as soon as you know that you are gay or lesbian or transgender, have open conversations with your kids, because there's no one on the planet that's going to be more willing to listen to your story than your children.
Yes.
Because they love you no matter what happens.
Yes.
So talk to them. Tell them what you're thinking, what you're feeling.
What a beautiful advice. I mean, isn't that true with any relationship?
Yes.
Whatever the fear is, like, oh my God, I might hurt my child, or might be thinking this or that, and whatever the reaction is, just allow it to be, knowing that the end result is that kid is appreciating and trusting, like, my parent has been honest with me. I've been not growing up into a lie or being hidden or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the other thing is if you're an adult and you're coming out as gay and you have adult children, it's the same scenario.
Yeah.
Your kids love you. Mm-hmm. It's not about who you sleep with. They love who you be, not who you sleep with at night. Yes. So just talk to them. Just come out.
I love it. So this is a good line to jump into the next topic. Come out and let us know, what is it that you do, your amazing productions?
I have a production called Living the Rainbow, True Stories of Coming Out and Transitioning. Mm-hmm. It is a gay, fabulous theater production where I go into a community, I gather stories from locals from that community. We get together and then we put their stories, their coming out and transition stories, on stage. Mm-hmm. In not just a storytelling format, not just an oral or a somebody just standing there saying the story. We are singing and dancing these stories. We're doing shadow theater. We could do puppet theater. We could have people use a song or a series of songs that puts together what their transition is, or a dance that shows how all of those emotions were there. We get to talk about coming out and transitioning.
I love it. So you did have your first event last year. How that went?
I did. It was amazing. It was in Durango, Colorado. And in November, I had 12 people that were on the stage telling their stories. I had an 11-year-old up to a 70-year-old and every generation in between.
So beautiful.
It was so amazing. It was so beautiful to be in that theater on that stage. Their response to me was, all of them were like, wow, I am so grateful that you had me look at myself and look at my coming out. It's been so long since I've thought about everything, all of those feelings and emotions, because my show isn't for therapy. It is for people who are already out and living out that are proud of that. And then they get to go back and tell how they got to this point in their life where they're happy and successful. And that's a guide for other gays and lesbians to be able to do the same thing. But also it's for the audience to hear the stories, to hear the struggles, and to get to know us better. And I truly believe that when people know us, it's going to be so much harder for them to hate us or judge us or put us down or discriminate against us, because we're just amazing people.
Yeah. It's people. And as you say earlier, am I a loving, honest, compassionate person or not?
Right.
So when people got stuck into something, they're not even their business. And they miss the whole person in front of them.
Right. And then the other part of the show is that we have a question and answer session at the end. And then between each act, we do vocabulary lessons. So we teach them about the difference between gender and sex, and the difference, the different vocabulary, and what is transgender and what is gender fluid, and all of those terminologies.
Wonderful.
So that when they're out there and they're working in the world and they hear these terms, they're not confused. They have a better understanding.
Yes.
And then answering questions like, well, I think this guy at work is gay. What do I say to let him know I'm okay with that? Mm-hmm. It's like, well, ask him, instead of saying, do you have a girlfriend? Say, do you have a partner? Do you have somebody special in your life? Mm-hmm. Then they have the opportunity to say yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wonderful. So engaging, it's a lot of, so in your work, I see, as I say for the beginning, a lot of educating and bringing awareness, but also for the people in community, just give them a platform when they get to be seen and heard and shine, right, and inspire others to stand up for themselves. It's so much leadership.
It is.
So
it is.
I want to thank you for the work, what you do, and people that are interested to collaborate with you and bring you in the day community, how they could reach you?
They can go to letitoutproductions.com.
Okay.
letitoutproductions.com. They can email me at Kristi, Kristi, at letitoutproductions.com. So my Facebook is Let It Out Productions.
Thank you for that. And tell us, where is your next show?
I am looking at The Villages, which is a retirement community in Central Florida. And we're in conversations right now about when and where and how we're going to make the show work there. And I'm doing my second show in Durango, Colorado this year.
Yay, super. Congratulations. Anything else that you might want to add as we close?
I just want to say, if you're interested in bringing Living the Rainbow to your community, please contact, reach out, and just keep loving each other and keep coming out.
Thank you so much, Kristi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Redefine Family, a Spark Transformation podcast. Feel free to share your story, knowing that your story could change someone's life. We invite you to spread the love by sharing our message with others. And leave your comments at spark@redefinefamily.com. Until next time, remember that you are the spark in your life. Just shine bright.